Poe, why don't you tell us? Was it good? Hello, everyone. This is Bob from Was It Good? And last night I had the opportunity to check out Kung Fu Panda 4. This is the fourth film in a franchise that hasn't seen a film in 8 years. And because of that, there were some questions as to whether this film was even needed or if it could recapture the magic of the original. So I went and checked it out and I tried to keep an open mind. And I got to say that it's kind of what I expected. So let's talk about it. The plot of this movie continues the story of the Dragon Warrior, the fun and lovable panda that we know as Poe, and he's told by Master Shifu that he's not supposed to be the Dragon Warrior anymore, that he needs to take the next step in his kung fu journey and become a spiritual leader. Naturally, Poe doesn't like this idea, and he wants to get in there and continue to kick butt and continue to be the Dragon Warrior and be like, yeah, yeah. But Master Shifu tells him that he needs to choose a successor to be the next Dragon Warrior. But before that can happen, a new villain emerges, and it's the form of a shape shifting chameleon. And so Poe goes off on another adventure to face the bad guy and do some cool kung fu. And along the way, learn a valuable lesson. Overall, I thought the plot of this movie was pretty simple. It follows the formula that was in a lot of the other movies, with Poe going off on an adventure, doing some cool stuff, and learning a lesson. There's nothing really added to the franchise on this, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because in the theater that I was in, the kids that were in the audience were just oohing and awing, seemed to enjoy themselves. The film was only 90 minutes, so it was easy for them to follow. And so overall, everybody seemed to be having a good time. I did hear a few chuckles in there, so I think the plot was pretty good. The biggest problem that I had with the plot was the absence of the Furious Five. I can say they are sorely missed in this movie. Being that it could be the last Kung Fu Panda movie, I was hoping that Poe would go on another adventure with the Furious Five, but instead he goes on this adventure with this fox named Shen, and it's just not the same. Because of that, it was kind of hard for me to get into the character of Shen. I didn't really necessarily have a problem with this character, but I did miss the Furious Five. But overall, the plot was kind of what I expected. The voice acting, for the most part, was pretty good. I didn't really have a problem with any of the characters. When it comes to our main character, Poe, Jack Black continues to hit a home run. Poe is a character that has a childlikeness to him, and he has a sense of amazement when it comes to Kung Fu. Every time he sees something new, despite how long he's been doing Kung Fu, he just looks at it and is like, whoa, that was awesome. And Jack Black can really pull those emotions through. He's done a great job throughout the series of playing this character, and his performance is no less good in this one. Great job by Jack Black. My favorite character through the whole series has been Master Shifu, and this is a character who's voiced by Dustin Hoffman. Now, Master Shifu has a sense of disgustment at times when it comes to Poe, and yet he has a little bit of an admiration for him as well. And Dustin Hoffman does a great job of portraying those emotions through the character. It was like he hadn't had 8 years off since playing the character last. He continues to do a great job. The character of the chameleon, the villain, was voiced by Viola Davis. And overall, I thought she did a pretty good job. I wasn't sure how she would do, but she did a pretty good job being the villain and kind of having a condescending attitude towards some of the other characters. She did a really good job. The character I had the least expectation for was the character of Shen, and this character was voiced by Aquafina. Now, again, like I said earlier, I had trouble getting into this character, and partly because I really wanted to see the Furious Five. But I will say that Aquafina was fine in the role. I didn't have any issues with her performance. I thought she did fine as this character. It's just not a character I really wanted. I would have preferred the Furious Five, but overall, she did a good job. One of the highlights for me, though, was the return of Ian McShane, who plays Tai Lung. And it was great to have him back in the role, even if it was just for a little bit. This isn't really a spoiler because Tai Lung shows up in the trailer. And it was nice hearing his voice because we haven't seen his character in a while, and I really enjoyed seeing this character. Overall, voice acting was pretty good. The overall look of the movie is pretty good. I think the Kung Fu Panda series as a whole has looked pretty good. I don't think that this movie is really any different. The visuals I thought were great. The animation was good. The kung fu looked pretty good on screen. The the powers of the chameleon being shown on screen looked pretty good. The audience seemed to like what they were seeing. Every time something fantastic would happen on screen, the kids would just be ooh, ah. And so everybody seemed to be fine with the overall look of it. And like I said, I think DreamWorks does a solid job. Overall, the look of the film is pretty good. From an entertainment standpoint, I think this movie was mildly entertaining. I actually had a good time. I'm not saying that this is the best film in the franchise. It is far from it. They're not able to capture the magic of the original, but overall I thought it was kind of fun. And really what's important, the kids in the audience seem to be having a good time. So if you have kids, I think you could feel comfortable taking them to this movie, and I think that they would enjoy themselves. Like I said, it's fairly short. It's only 90 minutes. The plot is simple, so it's easy for them to follow, and it is entertaining. So I think kids are really going to like this. And as an adult, I think you're going to find it somewhat entertaining. But if you're just a fan of the series and you don't have any kids, you could probably wait till this comes out on streaming. It's not the like I said the best in the franchise, but overall I did enjoy myself. Now, maybe you've seen the movie and you disagree with me. Maybe you think it's not that good of a movie at all and not even entertaining at all. Or maybe you do agree with me and maybe you think that the movie was all right. I'd love to hear what you thought. Why don't you leave a comment in the comment section below? It's okay if we disagree, but when you leave a comment, let's not be disagreeable. Now, if you like this video, I'd ask that you go ahead and hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and then we'll see you next time.